when you say change, it's not like a happy, pretty word, right? And I like live my life and I thrive through change, but at the same time, that innate feeling of change it will always be there. And so how you associate that to what is meaningful to them
Mhm.
will have the most impact. And I
Mhm.
think cut through a lot of I would call it the umbrella of change, when you
Mhm.
cut through and you're able to use data and insights to change people.
You know, one of the things that I just thought about as you were talking about that was, um, I think that people, well, you use the phrase change is not necessarily, this kind of happy, kind of place, this kind of happy, enthusiastic, walk in the park kind of word, for a number of people, but neither is feedback, right? There's kind of this yes, no, with kind of both of those words. And um, I, I love how you ended that last comment, which is, it doesn't have to be that way. You can actually create so much understanding, um, and actual comfort and awareness, with modern approaches to insight inside of either a big T or a little T process. What I want to do right now is I want to log into the Rejuvi platform, and I'm going to pull up a document that, we've been through a number of times, and that's called a roadmap. So this is your first time at Rejuvi 45. So this is kind of like the rock, paper, scissors part of the programming, where we decide, are we going to showcase a feature of the platform? Are we going to showcase a process of the platform? Are we going to showcase a resource of the platform? And you and I selected a resource, and we're going to actually go into a document on the change leadership roadmap. So for those of you who are watching for the first time today, Vanessa and I are going to rejuviventure.com. We're looking to the top right-hand corner. We're logging in. We're going to be logging in as an administrator. And we're going to be logging into a company called BlackRock Steel. And again, the tool, just as a reminder to everyone, when you log into the Rejuvi platform, again, this is a platform for modern leadership. And so when you go out here, you're going to see different worlds, where the blue world is for team leaders, and the purple world is for service leaders, and the red world is for sales leaders. So there are different worlds out here, depending upon what level of leader you're actually working with. And you have 4 broad categories of functionality around leader population work, data collection work, reporting and analytics work, and training and development or resources type of work. So we're going to go to resources, and we're going to go to a file called Trusted Partner. This is for practitioners. And we're going to take a look at this folder called Blueprints, Roadmaps, and Guides. And specifically, what Vanessa and I want to do is to actually go into the roadmap on leading change. And folks, this really is this is how you do revitalize change leadership. This is how you actually do modern leadership. And one of the first things that I want to do is go into this thing on the framework. And I'm going to go into this piece called Mitigate the Risk. There's so much richness in this deck. The point in, I think, this quick demo isn't so much about teaching people everything what's inside of this roadmap, but to start to kind of carry this back to some of Vanessa's points around change and feedback aren't necessarily happy words, but it doesn't have to be that way, even inside of the change process. So one of the things that modern change leadership capability, quick to insight capability, feedback, positive, healthy feedback now allows you to do is to give any transformation effort, big T or little t, what we call risk management analytics. And so, and so let me just go back to this for a moment. So Vanessa, can you imagine having had this tool in your, in your toolbox 10 years ago, when you first started to work? Because it's one thing to say, let's start to, communicate and create ownership and enthusiasm at the people level. But you also have to understand how to help the organization come along, and you have to mitigate the risk that's associated with a transformation. Because we all know these are the things that take transformations down. There's no sense of urgency. There's not a sense of confidence in the guiding team. There's a poor transformation vision. I mean, this is the stuff that takes them down. And so you need risk management analytics, right? You need to understand, what is my index? What is the propensity of these naughty things inside of my organization? What is the propensity of these things inside of this transformation that I am in the middle of? Because if the propensity is big, right? If the index is gigantic, then we're going to want to say we have to manage that. Otherwise, this project's going down. Can you imagine having this tool set and these analytics 10 years ago?
No,
5 years ago?
one thing that I've, just thought of is I think so many times, whether it be the internal team or external team, whoever's leading the change, it is assumed that people want and are ready for this. I think that there's a big assumption, and it's not necessarily ever communicated, right? Everyone kind of assumes people are ready, people have the skills, have what they need to keep moving, because so many on that internal or external team that's leading this are ready and they understand the inner workings. But I think I've seen that so many times where it's just assumed that that end user just is ready for this new process or wants the technology or whatever the transformation is. I think, and by being able to use data, real information, tangible information that you can use to not only understand current state, but also be able to use and build plans for future state and have a customized approach on how you do that without arbitrary templates or tools. I think this is just magic. I think it's incredible.
Yeah, and I love that, because part of that is so much, it what you're talking about, it creates skin in the game, right? It makes it personal for people. Templates are templates. Lists of why projects fail are, they don't create skin in the game. They might create a sense of education, like, oh, well, that's interesting to know. But as soon as you start to help people to understand the degree to which these things might be present inside of their own organization, it creates these skin in the game moments. And when you have those skin in the game moments, they becomes a teachable moment. And when you've got a teachable moment on your hands, that's when you can really start to, it's unfreezing the ice, and letting the water flow in the direction that, things now can flow in. I love that. And, because we're running short on time here, I'm just going to click on this piece right here. As Vanessa would say, revitalized change leadership doesn't just provide that quick to insight capability at the business level to understand what is the business's risk that's associated, with change, and being able to provide data in relationship to that. A great modern change leadership approach should also be able to provide people and the team data and analytics about their own change leadership muscle, and then to use those principles that we talked about earlier at the opening of the show, feedback that is going to provide intelligence, on, well, what does good look like? And what's my gap in relationship to that? And just exactly how do I get better? And so if you take a look at this kind of modern change leadership critical path, steps 2 are going to help you to establish both of those baselines at the individual and team level, as well as the business risk level. And then it's also going to come up again, and you're going to do lots of things that are customized based on what the people and the team and the organization actually needs in the middle. But what you're going to follow up with and finish this off in terms of the critical path is you're going to remeasure again, right? And this just actually came up this morning. You're going to measure again, right? You're going to want to take a temperature check to kind of go back to those principles of provide more intelligence to the people, right? Provide more intelligence to the team, provide more risk intelligence to the organization. Because ultimately, what you're going to want to do inside of a revitalized change leadership is be able to say, we can manage all of our little T's and all of our big T's, because we understand when we have a decrease in our risks, and this kind of incremental decrease in our risk, we impact our outcomes in this way. Just like you want to be able to say, when we improve our muscle, our people and team leadership muscle for incremental growth, this is how it actually resulted for us in terms of outcomes. And you can do that both with quick to insight capability in modern leadership and inside of revitalized change leadership. It's magic.
It is.
Well, I am, did I interrupt you,
No,
Vanessa?
no, it's fine.
I am so happy that our paths have crossed, and it's not just a blast to talk to you today about modern change leadership, feedback, and quick to insight capability. It's a blast to talk to you about it any day. And so thank you for that. Thank you for coming into my life. I love people who have the courage to take the roads less traveled, and who are absolutely lovely at being a straight shooter. And that's you, Vanessa.
Thank you. You're so kind. And thank you for being you, for inviting me on. This was fun. I'll do it anytime. And thank you for the new quote, where to play and how to win. Like that's
Well,
going up.
yeah, and that's a great lesson from the CI space. And as we think about quick to insight capability for change leadership, at the end of the day, tell me because I want to know, because what I want to know is where to play and how to win. And that's what fantastic feedback can actually do for you.